What is going on, our friends in film fandom, wherever you may be, and however you may be watching and or listening? We appreciate you being here and giving us just a little bit of your time. And we are, of course, The Harsh Truth, and I'm going to keep the joke going. I am, of course, not Frank. He is actually absent this time because he, for some reason, wanted to give me the keys to Thursday. So that's why I'm here again. And we're going to be talking about some dragons. All kinds of dragons. And I don't know who else I would do that with other than the park manager himself. It's the dinosaur man, but also he dabbles in dragons. It's Brooding Gamer. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm doing good. Dragons are just dinosaurs with wings. I mean, and breathe fire. You know.
Pretty, yeah. They're scaly and, are on an island or something. I think that's how that works. Yeah.
Someone owns an island.
Lease it from the government. So do you own it or do you lease it?
Make up your mind. You can't have all.
Haven't. You blithering idiot. Shout out to High Boy if anyone's ever watched him. I laughed so goddamn hard when he just zooms in on Hammond's face. He's like, Hammond, you blithering idiot. Oh dear God. Who's here first? Okay, awesome. We got my mom's in here first and not Casey, so I'm here for that. Hello. I'm here for that. My screen flickered.
Good Casey Lord. Won't be here probably.
I don't know. You start saying his name enough times, like in the mirror, he might appear. He might actually just appear in your house, which is an even more horrifying thought.
I've got a hammer next to me. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, it's not too hard to take out. Anywho, so we are talking about how to train your dragon, and if I could actually get these tabs in the right order, there we go. All right, let's do this. All right, How to Train Your Dragon is a 2025 American fantasy adventure film that is a live-action remake of the 2010 animated film, itself loosely based on the 2003 novel by Cressida Cowell, which I'm sure I butchered that name. It's produced by DreamWorks Animation. The film is written and directed by Dean DeBlois, who wrote and directed all three of the animated films. It stars Mason Thames, Nico Parker, Gabriel Howell, Julian, Dennison, my boy Nick Frost, and Gerard Butler, reprising his role as Stoick the Vast from the animated film. How to Train Your Dragon premiered at CinemaCon on April 2nd, 2025, and was released into the United States by Universal Pictures on June 13th of 2025. The film received generally positive reviews from critics and has grossed $218 million worldwide against a budget of $150 million. That ain't peanuts, kids. Becoming the 10th highest grossing film of 2025. On Rotten Tomatoes, 77% of 188 critics' reviews are positive. The website's consensus reads, quote, crafted with a lovingly fidelity to the animated classic by original co-director Dean DeBlois, How to Train Your Dragon doesn't best its first iteration, but still reaches enchanting new heights of its own. On April 2nd, 2025, at CinemaCon, Universal Pictures also announced that a live-action remake of the second film of the original animated trilogy, How to Train Your Dragon 2, was in development, and it is scheduled to release on June 11th of 2027. Holy crap. I did not know that.
That was a lot.
Yeah. It's like getting steps in. It's like I got my words in for today. I read a lot of words. So... yeah, I'll take it. God, I think my tab.
Oh, I love my saying is it's a occupational hazard. Oh, I hate autocorrect. I fought with that for 5 minutes trying to get that damn thing to work. So I guess I'm a stuttering Viking.
I just heard that like an Ian Malcolm voice that's an occupational hazard. As we're talking about, we're blurring the lines between dragons and dinosaurs. So the first... Okay, I'm putting the notes over here. No one can see what I'm doing, but just trust me, I'm messing myself up here a little bit.
It's important. I can tell you that.
It's super serial, guys. All right. Oh, so first is the works of the director. And I believe I do have a picture of this gentleman. So,
he looks like a fucking Viking.
I know, like, of all people to direct this film, and you got a dude who like looks like he stepped out of a Viking world to begin with. So what do you think about the works of Dean DeBlois, who I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong every time? We looked up beforehand. He, like we said, did all the original How to Train Your Dragons. He was a co-director on the animated Lilo and Stitch, and he also had a hand in making Leroy and Stitch, The Wild Robot as well, and two other films or something or others that I am not familiar with. So, what do you think of this gentleman's work and his amazing wool sweater he's got on right there?
I actually want that sweater.
He
did a fantastic job. I mean, if you have seen this movie, the only way I can really put it is like if you've seen the original How to Train Your Dragon, the animated one, then you've seen this movie too. He did a good job staying exact, like he did I wouldn't say he tried to follow the live action thing. It's like if you wanted to see, if they go scene for scene, word for word, why go see that? Just pop the DVD in of the first movie and then be like, oh wow, I went and saw it. And you could go into talk to anybody about it and then say like, oh yeah, I pretty much saw it. But he did a really good job with this one. There was a couple things about it that I wasn't the biggest fan of. They did the twins dirty. That was different. Yeah. I mean, I guess was it Rough Nut or Tough Nut? Whichever one the guy is.
I don't know.
He was fine. However, the girl, it made no sense to me. But I know a lot of people threw a tantrum about Astrid, which she did fine. I thought she looked. Is it Nico Parker is her name?
Nico Parker.
She did fantastic. I thought she did a pretty good job. I know it was funny when Haley and I saw it. She was like, the dad sounds like the dad from the other movie. I'm like, that's because it's the same guy.
Because it is.
It's like, I thought he sounded familiar. I'm like, yeah, they went right with that. You can't have anybody voice Stoic or be Stoic than the original. Like it was, he did great.
Butler.
But yeah, he did a really good job with this, and he had a lot of fun. He wanted to return back to this film franchise. A while back, he had made a comment about that on a interview that he really wanted to come back. So he decided, let's take the roles instead of just working on it. Let's do it ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. That movie just came out, my guy. So that's going to be a negative Ghost Rider. You're going to, as myself, apparently I'm talking from inside the house. Yeah, 28 years will be on Tuesday, so you're just going to have to hold your britches until then. But we did do days and weeks, so go watch those. We can't all just go see it, midnight review. We're not that important anymore. I don't even go to GameStop for midnight releases anymore. This is just a sad world we live in. Anywho, yeah, I mean, I have not seen any of the original 3 movies, so I absolutely know nothing about this other than this movie. This is the only thing I've got for a frame of reference. But from that aspect, I mean, visually, it was a pretty cool movie. It's a cool story. I mean, it kind of gives it away in the title, I suppose. We're training dragons, so. Roll credits. You did your part.
Have you ever played a Pokemon game? There, you've also seen the movie.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Super Mario Brothers? Have you played the game? I mean, that's pretty much it. And he co-directed Lilo and Stitch, the 2002 animated movie. So I mean, nothing really to say there. That's an amazing movie. Let's see. I don't know anything about The Wild Robot. I think that was last year. Yeah, it was a Disney movie.
It was good. It was actually really good. Cute movie.
Who made that? Who made this? Apparently Chris Sanders made it. Maybe he was maybe just like had a hand in it. All right, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but let's go to the cast. So, given this whole cast of people here, who is your favorite? Did anybody stick out to you in particular? I guess good or bad, since you said the twins
Yeah, the twins.
didn't really.
Like he was fine. Like I said, he was fine. She just I don't know. Astrid, like I said, I actually really liked her.
Astrid was cool.
The two characters that I was the most nervous about going into this had to be Fish Legs, the Fire Fist kid from Deadpool, and of course Gobber, because he is my favorite character from the 3 movies. But Fish Legs also being my favorite, one of my favorites, just because he's like a nerd. Like, you've got that one kid that's like named. So okay, you get the dinosaur kid in with a group, and when everybody's like, "Yeah, it's a dinosaur," and then you got that kid who's like, actually push his glasses up. It's and then that would be him. He actually
I'm sure you're not
did
speaking
a really
from
good
experience
job.
There, are you?
He actually did a really good job, and with Nick Frost as Gobber, I would say like the first 15 minutes of the film, I was like, I like him, but not as this role. And then I'd say the more once we got to like Stoick and him talking together in the meat hall, I was like, okay, you know what? He's growing on me. And then just the more he went, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like him as Gobber. He did good. Of course, I am going to make you watch the original 3 so you can experience and know what the hell is going on. But when I tell you the original Gobber he stole the films, but I was happy with the cast. Just the girl, one of the twins, I just wasn't a fan of. They did the twins dirty.
Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna again have to take your word for it because I have only seen this movie. As for me, I mean, yeah, it took me I had to look past the beard, which I know doesn't narrow it down, but I'll narrow it down for you. I had to look past a little bit, and I was like, motherfucker, is that Nick Frost? Is that my dude? Come on. I don't even care if he's in the movie. I love it. Like as he would say, how's that for a slice of fried gold?
Did you ever
Frost, instant win.
Do you remember there was a Viking in there? It was like the kid who had I always call it the motorcycle dragon, Hook Fang.
Oh yeah, that one was pretty
his dad, every time he'd come on, he'd be like, "Hi, Dad." And he's like, "Don't talk to me in public." That's actually the guy if you didn't know, that's the guy from Shaun of the Dead. It was Sean's roommate, the guy who, when they found him in the shower, he was a zombie. So when I read something, it was like Shaun of the Dead actors reunite. I'm like, Sean's not in this movie. What are you talking about? And I looked and they're like, this is the guy. This is the roommate. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So that was that was cool to see. That I don't think the two of them even had much of an interaction, but I just thought it was cool.
Well, it's down for more Shaun of the Dead. For sure. All right. And I got that done. All right. Well, I guess point number 3 is the plot. So, does the plot work for you? I mean, I hate that this whole review is like, yeah, it's the movie. They made an animated one like 10 years ago. Next. That's it. Well, I mean, I guess in comparison, I don't think that's a question on there, but I think that's kind of more so what I'm thinking. Like, does this plot work for you? Is it like, and how does it compare to the first one? Because you've seen it and I haven't. So, is it better or worse? It was
pretty much scene for scene. Okay. There were certain aspects that that they didn't do that I'm really glad, because it was a little cringy at some points when Hiccup is talking. It works. Certain lines work way better as an animated character than they do as a live human being. But he does a lot of mocking his dad in this big Scottish accent and he gets to that part in the live action. I'm like, oh God, don't do it, because it doesn't work. I don't know. I feel bad. I wasn't a huge fan of the kid who played Hiccup. I didn't believe it at all. He's way more of a he's more of a smartass in the animated one than he is in this one. He does kind of clap back at the bully. I would say the bullies. the whole like, oh, you're so and so, your name is Snotlout. Like he throws that in his face, and I was like, oh, it's about time somebody did that. And then the twins, he dropped something on them too. They're like, aren't you a little old to be here? I'm like, oh, so you're not a smart ass, you're just a jackass in this one. But like, he's also a little bit of, I don't want to say he's a pussy, but anytime, like, when Astrid gets up in his face, she's like, I'm going to take your house one day. And he's like, have at it. You're the kid my dad wanted anyway. And I'm just like, Jesus, I feel bad. Like, you can even look at her. She's like, bullying you isn't even fun. Like, you just give in.
Yeah, it's no fun if you don't actually play along with
it. So it was like, it was plot wise. I mean, it followed pretty much scene for scene. I think they cut one scene out of the film that I thought was kind of stupid. Where, because each time he interacts with a dragon or with Toothless, he figures out, okay, so if I do this, as you saw in this version, the only difference is dandelions make dragons sneeze, which, I thought I was like, oh, I'm sitting there, I was like, I'm looking at my dog right now. And in the animated version, it's like these flowers, pretty much it's like catnip. They get all high and roll around and be all cute. Other than that, I mean, they cut a scene out with him and Toothless on an island. And the little dragons, the terrible terrors, or the whatever, they play way more of a role in the animated one they did in this one. And I was like, oh, that sucks, because they were actually kind of funny in this one. Little nose-biting ragamuffins. I don't know. They were funny. But that's like I was saying. If you've seen the animated one, which in your case you haven't, we'll change that, though. If you've seen the animated one, you've seen this one. And I think that's a little bit of a bummer, because it's like, if you do a live-action remake, make it your own, but still kind of follow it a little bit. Because if you follow it bit by bit, again, I say, why go see this? Just put the DVD in, and then you can be like, yeah, I've seen it. But if you make it your own in a little bit, you can. And there's a lot of conversations that change that aren't had in the animated one that are, which I liked. They kind of took their own little creative license on it, which is fine. But I do think it followed the original too much.
I mean, yeah, sometimes there is like that fine balance of like, how much do you really keep from the same and how much the same do you keep it? And then like, if you change something or maybe just change it slightly, it's like, well, then it's like you can't really please anybody either way, unfortunately. But I mean, again, and I have no other kind of reference to it. If I don't mind when things are kind of the same, like you said, if you take some creative liberties with some stuff, but I mean, if you keep the same general outline of it, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad about it, I suppose. And you can tell the same stories in a different way. What just popped in my head was like, episode 4 of Star Wars and episode 7, Force Awakens. I'm like, that's the same thing, but not kind of. And that's the most I'm going to defend the sequel trilogy now, because now I'm just, I've let as Kylo Ren said, I've let the past die, and then we're going to get to the second half of that line where kill it if you have to, because Disney sure did. So I didn't forget, guys. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, it was cool. I didn't really know anything past like I read the title. I'm like, okay, we're training dragons, I guess. I don't know what that means. I have expected, Hiccup to get knocked out and wake up in a cart, and some guy goes, "Hey, you're finally awake." I don't. That's my experience with dragons. Like, I know. Yeah, you like them. I almost put that as a meme in here. I tried to find it. But I don't dislike things that are dragons or stuff of this nature. This kind of more so reminded me of the fact that I didn't actually finish Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so there's that. It did that for me, I suppose. I don't know. But I will say, at least in the fact that they're dragons, you can kind of see in the background there, and like with Toothless, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a nerd. That is actually a dragon. I appreciate you. However, I think I have a picture of one. That is a wyvern. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has 2 legs and 2 wings. That is a wyvern. That's not actually technically a dragon. There's a dragon. 4 legs and 2 wings. So
Skyrim did the same thing.
I know, and I was like, I know, we love Skyrim. I just made a meme reference like 20 seconds ago, but those are wyverns. Just if we're gonna be nitpicky, but at least your main dude is actually a dragon, so I can appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know if it had a. You might know better than me. I don't know if that dragon at the end, that big queen dragon, whatever the hell, had a name or something.
Yes, it does.
That thing was absolutely terrifying, and it was kind of cool. Remember, I'm not really like the big monster kind of guy, but I was like, dear fucking god, if I saw that,
oh yeah,
I'd be shitting my fur cape and horns, and I'd be running the other way. Look how much of a Viking I am. I'm not going.
Thank God I got an extra boob helmet because I'm gonna need this.
It's matching set breastplate.
Yeah, that is called the Red Death.
Oh, well, appropriately named, I would say.
Yeah, I was wondering how they were gonna play. I mean, that's on the thumbnail of the video too, but I was wondering how they were gonna play that off. Because the original, it's intimidating, like the animated one, but it's as intimidating as it could be for a animated dragon. This one, they definitely made this thing like, I mean, it made Smaug look like a salamander. Like this thing is meant to be as big as scale possible, and there's even more of them. But
good.
Yeah, there's at least one more, but it's called the Green Death. You have a red and a green one, but I don't know where the green one's at. If you watch Netflix, it's in the Netflix series, but there's, I mean, that leads into, and they actually focus on this dragon being something that introduces in the second movie, where they start looking at like alphas and like
the hierarchy of it.
Yeah, where they start talking about these dragons are being controlled, and they go into that a lot more in depth with some really cool design dragons later on. But they actually added 2 extra dragons in this film that weren't in the movie or the first movie at all. So they kind of hinted at what would go on in the second movie, and they give a lot of stuff that I didn't even know they were making a sequel until you just said that.
I didn't either until I just said it. So
yeah, because I had known that they wanted to make one, but I didn't know. And there was talks about if spoiler alert. This is labeled as a spoiler review.
Wait. I had the thing. Boom. Spoiler. There's a spoiler alert in the corner. Go ahead. You're fine.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, there it is. We have a graphic for that now.
Oh, I like that. They had said that if they did a second one, they would want Hiccup's mom to reprise, or the original voice actress of his mom to reprise her role, and I can't think of her name.
Oh,
Cate Blanchett.
Oh, is it Cate Blanchett? Holy crap!
Is that she from? Was she in
that casual actress?
I can't. I'm drawing. She played Hela in Thor, didn't she?
The sister, yes.
Yeah, his aunt or whatever. Sister, yeah. I'm sorry.
That was Thor and Loki's sister, yes.
Yeah, the Marvel ones go in a whole different direction where it's like, oh, okay, it's just whatever. But yeah, she plays his mom in the second film, and you find out what happened to her, and they talk about her a lot in this one, which they never talk about her in the first movie, the original one. They mention his mother. I'd say originally in the animated one,
Yeah. I looked up How to Train Your Dragon 2, and I see Cate Blanchett.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's got
the original one. The only thing they ever mention of his mom was the helmet. He's like, this is her other part of her breastplate. Matching set keeps her close. That's it. And in this one, they even name dropped her and talked about her a lot. And I'm just like, oh wow, they really, really focused. So I was like, I feel like they're really wanting to make a sequel. And then you say that, I'm like, all right, well, they were just straight up saying we're doing it. We're gonna name drop mom and everything.
Oh, look at that. See, Brent kind of wants a boob helmet now too. So,
I got you.
Out of context, that sounds like some serial killer type shit. Oh, see, I told you.
Puts the lotion on its skin.
Well, speaking of putting lotion on the skin, gets the hose again. Now Casey is raw is here. He says, "Brooding gamer, I'm the real gamer around here." I don't know about that, Casey.
You're cute.
Oh, we're having an old man fight here. Well, no, Oklahoma's a few hours behind. Side scrollers haven't counted since '94. I don't know about that. Cuphead's a side scroller. But Casey's saying platformers. Those are different. Children, can we please just not? Why can't we all just play games on the same couch? I miss those days.
Whatever happened to couch co-op, damn it?
I think that died about 20 years ago, honestly.
Oh, we'll bring it back.
Maybe even longer than that, man. I don't know. Some games like Mortal Kombat that still keep it going, you can couch co-op with, which is kind of cool. All right. Well, okay. I think we kind of beat the plot to death. I think there is a picture. Yeah, there's a badass picture of Stoick. I like that. With the boob helmet. I can't now in context. Now I just know that. So thanks for that, man.
Which I find funny because she's not a big woman, so I don't know why they're like, this is part of her breastplate. She's fucking tiny. What do you mean? Overcompensation? Like,
well, he's not exactly a tiny dude, so I mean, you can't put a little A cup on his head and have it look like a freaking yarmulke with horns. Like, it doesn't
Gobber, make this bigger.
Don't ask where I got it from.
Come back and
questions. Right. Yeah, I think what I think Gerard Butler absolutely killed it as Stoick, and I mean it's kind of cool that he is the same character from the animated film, but dude, just I can tell he put his whole freaking soul into this.
Every time he takes that damn cape off, or the fur.
Yeah, the
takes
fur
that thing off, and I'm like, oh man, I'm about to get my ass whooped, and I'm just the one watching the movie. Like I get like costuming makes a big deal, but he's a scary looking motherfucker in this. Like they did.
I believe that he could actually just like wrangle a dragon and punch it in the face with no fear.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he did. I mean, yeah. When I show you the animated one, it's a good comparison because obviously he's a lot bigger in the animated one. I mean, he's huge. This movie did no justice to like. I mean, again, it's like let's do a live action Shrek, but Shrek is only 7 or 6 feet tall, and it's like, well, this doesn't look like the animated one. No, because I don't even know how tall Shrek is. Like he's like 8 feet tall or whatever. But like, there's only so much you can do. But I mean, like, I'm not gonna complain. Like you can't. If you were,
it doesn't translate sometimes, but I mean,
yeah. If you were to like make
you
an
can get a little goofier
body,
with animation.
Yeah, if you were to do like an animated body and put Gerard Butler's face on it, you'd be like, It's not Gerard Butler though. But I still like he did a good job, and he was an intimidating looking guy, and they did a really, really good job with it. And I mean, it's better in this one because you can put a lot more emotion behind the the character. Animated's a little easier, is a lot harder to, in my opinion, to do it, to like put emotion behind anything. That live action just can't, or that I don't even know.
I know what you're saying. Like he's being he's being the character, and he's putting his heart and soul into this, and I can tell it's like this isn't phoning it in. Like he really, I mean, if I was in that room and he was, just pumping me up, eventually, by the end, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'd be throwing my sword in the air too. Like, let's go, let's kick these dragons' ass.
I don't remember what he was yelling. He was like, "Are we or is it or something?"
He's getting everybody hyped up, and
then he just looks at the guy and he's like, "Are we?" Yeah.
Are we?
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, but, it's like he has kind of a little bit of a goofy edge to him, which I kind of like.
He's a lot more funny in this one than he is in the animated one. He has
like animated, you're going against. I don't know what they do it either way, but it's like you have the animated bit, and you're trying to bring that to life, or it's like maybe you get a script and then they ask you like, "Hey, give us this character," and they'll animate it around it and kind of give it something. So it's not like it's two halves of a character you're putting together to make something work.
Yeah. Well,
but if you're just being the character in live action, I mean, you can just be the whole character, and that's definitely what he did for this.
Yeah.
So.
The cool thing is about any time that there was like a spinoff, because they had like a Netflix series that was on for How to Train Your Dragon. It went from it was between the.
Did you have a dinosaur escape? What happened?
I don't know what the hell that was. Just sounded like an electrical pop behind me.
Why is it in the cage? Because it growled at me.
It growled at me. Yeah, anytime that they put Stoic in something that's not Gerard Butler voicing, it's Christopher Nolan at all times. So I mean, all I hear is Nathan Drake doing a Scottish accent. But there'd be times like they did the video game. I think it was like the first two video games, Stoic is in them, and it's voiced by Christopher Nolan. And then there was the Netflix series, and then the Cartoon Network series that was on there, that was voiced by Christopher Nolan. So it's either been him or I was kind of hoping he'd make an appearance in this as just like a Viking in the background, or as just like a quick scene. But they still did really good. I was very happy with bringing him back because no one else could play Stoic but him.
Are you talking? Wait, talking about Christopher Nolan from Batman? Or are you talking about Gerard Butler?
What?
You were talking about Christopher Nolan. I'm like, the director, or are you talking about Gerard Butler? Is what you meant?
Oh, for fuck's sakes! Who voiced Nathan Drake?
That was like from the video game.
Yes.
Oh my god, I see his face now. Now I can't. Hold on. He was in the movie. Damn it. No, not Sam Drake. I want. Okay, we have to spell the name
where
right.
the hell I keep saying Christopher Nolan.
I was kind of like, that's really interesting. The guy who did Batman. What the hell? Played by. There we go. Come on, internet. You're supposed to be smarter than this. No, not Tom Holland, Spider-Man. I don't want pictures of Spider-Man. Nolan North. There we go.
Nolan North. So I got Nolan in there.
We got it. Nobody panic. We got there.
So he voices Stoic in anything not main franchise, but
okay. We got there.
Let's just erase that whole part.
Well, we can keep my J. Jonah Jameson impression, and we'll move on.
We can do it in post, right?
No, we well maybe, but this is live, and
fuck,
you heard it here first, I guess.
Birding Gamer doesn't know his actors.
Yeah, we're gonna get clipped and bullied into oblivion on the internet because that's how it works. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay, so now that we're clearing up that Christopher Nolan did in fact not do that, Nolan North, yeah, who also has voiced like everything.
Someone's off to the side going, "What the fuck is this dude talking about? Why is he on here?"
Dragons aren't dinosaurs. Stupid. Oh Lord. All right. Well, like I said, this is awkward because it may not be a long review because it's kind of it just came out, and also again, there's not too many drastic comparisons, not too many drastic changes. So, that's kind of cool. Let me give you guys the pictures. The fourth plot point is so what would you expect from the sequel? Having seen this, I mean, do you think maybe they'll follow the sequel? Maybe more. You kind of mentioned the mom. She plays a bigger part, yeah?
Well, yeah. And there's a guy, the main bad guy of the second film is named Drago Bloodfist. I mean, what else could you?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean,
but he is voiced, more than that. He is voiced by, and I can never say his name right. Even if I knew how to say his name, I'd say it probably wrong. It's the black guy from everything. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in the first movie where he's like, "I'm Star-Lord," and the guy goes, "Who?
Who?"
Guy.
Right as I looked at him, I saw his face. And I went, "Who?"
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Is it Jimon Hondusu?
Sure.
Hansu?
He's a very angry. He was in
Can
the
never
Blood
say his name
Diamond,
right.
I think.
I think that or Never Back Down was the first movie I saw him in, and yeah, no, I was like, this guy's got it, man. He's got some chops.
He voices the main
Team
bad guy of
Hansu?
the second one, so I'm like,
That's cool as hell.
you can't put him in there, please. That is another one. Like, you can't. That voice is so iconic, and I mean, he's a guy that literally tames dragons by screaming at them. Like,
so Skyrim?
No, like he just straight up like takes the stick, waves it in the air, and it's just literally like ah, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Even the dragons are like, bro, calm down, man. So it's like he's a pretty intimidating motherfucker. So I'm like, I hope to God he reprises that role for that film.
That would be pretty sick, actually.
And I mean, when I show that to you, I mean, you tell me that this guy, I mean, he Google Drago Bloodfist, and you'll just be like, Jesus Christ, like, dude's terrifying. He wears dragon skin, like, so I'm hoping he comes back with that as that role. If they don't pick somebody good, I mean, hell, even the third movie's villain, he's weird. He's not like intimidating in any way, but he's extremely intelligent, so it makes him scary. Because I think intelligence is just as scary as like brute force. Because I mean, look at like I'm trying to think. Look at like Lex Luthor, for example. He's not a physical fighter. I mean, he is when he has a suit, but he's extremely intelligent, and he does a lot of dangerous things with that intelligence. So it's like. They I would say for a franchise about, you know, like the same people who do Shrek, for God's sakes, they can make some pretty good villains. That's fair. You know, they're scary people, and they make you uncomfortable just because you're like, I don't like the way you know, this man's literally killing dragons and beating them and being like, yeah, I'm gonna make an army out of them. So it's like, shit, dude. And then the next guy's doing the same thing but worse. Like, he's killing people in the process. So it's like they definitely go a lot more dark in the second and third movie. So I'm excited to see if they can make that, how they're going to make that look. Because I think the first movie is all about just getting the whimsy, you know, like, oh, dragons are really not, you know, what we think they are. And then you get into the second and third where it's like, all right, now we start introducing like, it's not the dragons we have to worry about, it's the people, and they do a really good job at doing that. So I'm excited to see where they go with that. If they end up doing the second one, they'll have to do a third one. They have to follow the third one. So
I mean, I guess there's live action franchise potential here, to be fair.
It's doing good in the box office from what I hear.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I mentioned that earlier, 218 million worldwide already against a budget of 150 million. So yeah, you're already kind of doing gangbusters here. And what, it just came out a couple days ago on the 13th. So
yeah, Rotten Tomatoes hit it with like a 74 right out the gate, which isn't bad. I mean, it could be.
Yeah, it's up to.
Or was it 84?
Oh, no, this is 77 right now. So
so it's gone up.
So as of right now, yeah. So no, it's doing good. I mean, I don't know if it's also got the appeal to, like, you know, a big driver of this is probably, you know, kids.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like, for as brain rot as it may have been, Minecraft is making like $100 billion dollars.
But it's doing it for the wrong reasons.
Kind of, but I'm like, it is. But I mean, how many times is it like probably kids going back to you know, wanting to go see it because it's, you know, goofy, and
those poor
people just want to trash theaters because Jack Black said chicken jockey. I'm like, what? We picked the dumbest things to latch to. Like, I found the movie to be like, it was interesting. Jennifer Coolidge is the best thing in anything ever, so that takes the cake for me. So I thought she was actually the funniest part of the movie, and I mean, I kind of liked Jason Momoa. I mean, it's Aquaman.
This movie makes you want a hot dog real bad.
Wow. You look like the 4th of July. Makes me want a hot dog real bad.
You better get a life-size cut out of her, I swear to God.
Oh, 4th of July is going to be fun. I still need to order. I'm going to order that shirt. And I'm like, it makes me really upset the amount of power that I can have when they're like, hey, yeah, $12. We'll make you a life-size cat out of anybody you want. I'm like, don't, because I'll start doing stupid things. I'll start doing stupid
I'll
things.
eventually have a life-size dinosaur.
I'll have like an army of them
here.
behind me. I'll start leaving them in places just to freak people out.
I'll eventually have a life-size dinosaur in here for sure. Maybe a velociraptor.
Well, life-size dinosaur, that's kind of a big range. Are you talking like a compy, or are you talking like a giga?
I don't know how much. How much for this? More than you have. How much for this?
Oh, we can do that. We got the budget for that.
I don't know. Life-size velociraptor cutout. I'd be happy with that. I don't know where I'd put it in here, but
like an actual one or one from like the movies, because they're not actually like 6 feet long. And,
no, it'd be the one from the film.
Okay.
If I wanted,
I'm saying, like,
a
feathers or no
life-size
feathers?
raptor in here, I'd just go to Rural King and steal a chicken.
That's essentially, yeah. Because birds are dinosaurs. Oh, clever girls, all of them. All right, well, like I said, Brooding Gamer is going to carry this review, and since I have absolutely nothing to offer to this, I don't know what a sequel would look like.
I'm surprised you didn't think to see the original. Like, I'm honestly surprised you just hadn't.
I don't often refer to Caligula. Don't go out of my. Sorry. If you're not in like our inner circle of friends, I say dumb things that are from like YouTube videos that like the context makes sense. Just if you ever watch any of Soviet Womble's videos, they make fun of one of them for not knowing who. He says Caligula, and he meant to say, well, he was trying to say Caligula, but he meant to say Cleopatra, and he was messing it up because he didn't know who the Roman emperor was. And he's like, "I'm sorry, how long were you saying it that way?" And he just screams at me, like, "I don't often refer to Caligula." So, that's the joke. I'm like, when it's something so niche that I'm like, I just don't even care to get into it. That's the joke. Go watch Soviet Womble's videos. The shit is funny. Shout out to another YouTuber who has, millions more subscribers than we do, but for a good reason. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, the last... Jesus, this is going to be quick and sweet. The last thing is trivia, which we do have a couple things. Since, again, I have nothing to offer to this. Let's go back to... Where's my hairbrush? There we go. That's it. You mentioned one silly song with Larry, and it's gonna be my it's all day. I'm sorry.
Oh, kids won't know what that is these days.
Right. You ever see a talking cucumber and tomato talk to you about God? That's what it is. All right. Dean DeBlois is the first to direct and write the screenplay for a live action adaptation of an animated film, which he also wrote and co-directed How to Train Your Dragon. I think I mentioned that. So, I mean, that's cool. I mean, you definitely handled both, and that's something that I will say I always have a lot of faith in when, like, they're going off in the comments about 28 years later. I'm like, well, see, when you tell me it's a Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, I'm like, yeah, the original guys from the movies. So I already have more faith in this movie that it's going to be good than I would otherwise, because I wouldn't trust it as much. I would just kind of roll my eyes at it. So, I mean, yeah, get the people that are involved in it that know what the IP is about, and to no one's surprise, it will do well. All right. Pretty sure this is Hiccups, so we'll do... Yeah, we got Astrid. That's okay. Mason Thames traveled to London for his audition and participated in a chemistry read. About 2 weeks later, while he was at home, he hadn't heard anything and assumed that he wouldn't have gotten the role of Hiccup. Then he received an email asking him to hop on a call with Dean DeBlois and discuss notes on his audition. Initially, Mason thought that the call would lead to a rejection, but instead, the director asked, "Actually, we only have one question. Would you like to play the role of Hiccup in our movie?" Thames revealed that he jumped out of his chair and accidentally broke his light in excitement. That's a fair reaction. He noted that it was a very special moment, filled him with pride, and his family shared in his joy. I mean, yeah, you'd be excited as hell if you thought for a second, hey, there's no news. Give me something.
I still think they could have picked a better actor, but that's just me.
I don't know. I mean, I guess he kind of looks the part. I don't know how the other guy or the other animated version compares, but I was like, if I'm just going off of the way he looks, I'm like, yeah, I mean, he looks like the character, I guess. So kind of works. Works for me. All right, let's get the cast. While the cast are British, Irish, Scottish, and Kiwi, Mason Thames is the only American actor in the film. Actually, yeah, that's true. Now I think about it, yeah. Huh, damn.
Nico Parker.
The best is Stoick.
What is she?
I think she's English, right? She's British.
She didn't have an accent.
No, but I mean, she's still. I mean, we just talked about this. We did 28 weeks later. I'm like, well, there's Idris Elba, and he's playing an American general in the military. I'm like, yeah, but he's. Have you seen The Walking Dead? How many Brits are in there? Pretending to be something American.
Anybody can do an accent.
Cool. Nico Parker. She's British, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, she didn't have an accent in Last of Us. I mean, she also didn't, have an extra hole in her fucking chest either by the end of the episode. But hey.
Oh, was she in The Last of Us?
Yeah, she played Joel's daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, if you didn't, yeah, that was her. That's I got a better. There she is. Yeah, Nico. I was gonna say, I'm like, I think Nico Parker's on the up and up, because I mean, you go from Last of Us to, I mean, I don't know if she did anything in between these two movies, but you went from that to Astrid in this movie, and again, it's doing very, very well. So, I think she's on the right path here. So that's pretty cool. I'm interested to see what else she does. Got a cool shot there. Would you saved old dude from getting squashed like a bug? All right. Wow, look at that. If you go back to this this behemoth of a man. Gerard Butler shared how touched he was that director Dean DeBlois dedicated the live-action remake of the animated franchise to his mother, who passed away in February at the age of 81. He's quoted, "I was so excited for her to see it, but I had a feeling that she wouldn't. So Dean very kindly dedicated the movie to her." That's really nice. I didn't know that. I was wondering who that who that dedication was for. That's pretty cool. All right. See, I need another one. I need more hiccups. It's a sentence I never thought I would say. Mason Thames is a huge fan of the character Hiccup, and he even dressed as the character for Halloween once when he was younger. Yeah, see, it's almost like you were born to play the role. And you were worried you didn't get it. Come on, man. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, I could have just read a little further down. I'm dumb. All right, let's get a little Toothless in there. Like in the original film, Hiccup and Toothless kill the Red Death by shooting a fireball into her mouth, causing her to combust from the inside. In the original, this paid off in an earlier scene where Hiccup first saw Toothless doing it to a terrible terror, but said the scene is omitted from the remake, making it unclear how Hiccup knew this would work or even got the idea in the first place. I mean, you have a dragon, and it shoots things out of its mouth, so... You ever played a video game before? That's a weak spot. Shoot in the mouth. I don't know. Or what's his name? It was just smacking his eye with a hammer. I mean, yeah, go for the weak points.
I'm sitting there like hold my eyes shut when he's doing that. I'm like, stop.
Makes you cringe a little bit. You got something in your eye there, buddy. Clear your eyes. Dry eyes.
Dry, itchy eyes. Nope, just biking.
Okay, let's see. Let's take up an Astrid. Let's get another one, Toothless. Yeah, and Hiccup. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know there was an end credit. Well, excuse me. End credit scene where Hiccup opens the Dragon Book to the Night Fury page. along with his toothless drawing. And who wrote this line? Dear God. With his toothless drawing, an audience is set to wonder if he'll write anything. That was definitely words that were written on the internet. What?
That it was a very lackluster post credit. Like we are all like, oh, there's post credit, and we all sat there, and then at the very, literally all he does is he laid the book there and he touched it, and we're like, that's it. We could have done that.
Yeah. So kind of one of those ones that doesn't really give you much. That's unfortunate. I guess we've learned quite a bit about these Night Furies. I don't know. Or being that he's the only one who had seen one, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Please support the official release. Speaking of abridged. That's actually all the trivia, because again, this just came out, and when I looked for quotes, I'm like, wow, it's all the quotes from the trailer. Like you said, I'm like, well, I could have wrote that. Damn. I felt kind of cheated. But oh well. All right. So I guess we can, I mean, hey, we don't have to sit here and BS about stuff no one wants to hear about. So if you want to give me your final thoughts on the movie, so I mean, I assume, did you like it? Would you recommend it?
I definitely recommend it. It was very good, especially since it's kind of a movie we grew up with. Back I was in middle school when this first dropped, so
I might have been in high school. I was too good for that.
It's definitely something I'd recommend going and seeing, even if you've seen the original one. And from there, just I'm looking forward to seeing the sequels.
Hell yeah. Yes, that was 2010. I was in high school and probably had better things to do. So I looked it up for my own validation. But I mean, I went back to the Saw franchise, so who knows? Maybe I'll go back to it as if I saw it, but for the first time. Yeah, as for me, I mean, again, just having, for the rare occasion where it's something that I've only seen this iteration of and having no other knowledge of it, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it looked pretty cool. I'm kind of touchy when it comes to, sometimes with dragons, medieval stuff, sword and shield. I like that stuff sometimes, but I'm kind of particular about it. Like, I'll never touch Game of Thrones like with a 10-foot pole, but I mean, I'll sit and watch the extended editions of Lord of the Rings like for a whole weekend. I'll take a whole day and just watch them all. I'm trying to think like what other things. Obviously, I played Elder Scrolls, things of that nature. So I don't know. Just some things I'm just hit or miss with sometimes. But I will take your word for it. I'm sure Gamer's going to come over here and like Clockwork Orange my ass and just like hold my eyes open and make me like watch this movie. So
that's the thing. I won't have to. It's just they're good.
They're just that good.
They are. They definitely snag you because they don't waste any time getting into like the action of it. It's like, so it's good though.
All right. So yeah, you can find the movie. I think it's still in theaters right now. I'm not sure how long it'll be in theaters, but I don't doubt. I mean, it's DreamWorks. I don't know if it's not Disney, but I'm sure it'll end up somewhere on streaming at some point. But
probably Peacock.
Yeah, probably Peacock. But yeah, go check it out in theaters. I mean, I would say it's definitely a movie worth seeing in theaters for sure. I mean, just even for the ending scene of the Red Death, I was that's a cinema worthy, experience right there. That big fucker coming out of the volcano like that. I was like, whoa. All right. Okay. I'll just settle in and eat my little Crunch Bar bites, and I'm gonna watch this go down.
I had when I saw it.
Hey, look at that. All right. So where do people find you on the internet, my good sir?
You can find me at my YouTube channel, Brooding Gamer, where we cover all things Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whether that be toy hunts, toy reviews, video game coverage, or film. which with Rebirth coming out in like what,
just a few weeks,
2 weeks or so, we've been in that, and they just announced Jurassic World Evolution 3, which is like a big park builder game done by the people who did Planet Coaster, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Planet Zoo. So we've been doing a lot of coverage of that, which I actually just uploaded a video today on that. So feel free to check me out over there, where we are actually doing a giveaway of the game.
Very nice. As for me, I do occasionally dabble in his stuff, so you might see my goofy face in there sometimes. I'm the resident Ian Malcolm of his channel, so if that wasn't obvious, duh. I'll never be as good as Jeff Goldblum, but I mean, I can dream. Okay, leave me alone. Yeah, but that's coming out soon. So if you want to know anything about Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, anything of that nature, that's the man to see. His stuff's down in the description. Go check him out. And again, I'm sure he's going to have plenty of things to say when Jurassic World Rebirth comes out here in a short time.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have him back on for that. As for me, I'm here Tuesdays, Thursdays. What is today? Thursday. So the next thing will be on Tuesday. This weekend we're going to go see 28 Years Later. Finally getting to the trilogy. We're rounding it out, and so far, I mean, from his comments somewhere in the comments there from text, that he said he enjoyed it and it was, spot on what we want. Something that's still in the same vein as like the original 2 movies. A good blend of the 2. So I mean, I'm excited. Like I said, it's the original guys who did the movies, so I have all the faith in the world that's going to be incredible. And my God, I can't wait to see it. I mean, Voldemort's in this movie, for Christ's sake. I mean, why not? Him walking to that big pyre of skulls and he's covered in blood. I was like, are you doing the doing? Or are you about to get did? Because I don't know their Voldemort. That looks kind of sketchy. So yeah, that'll be the next thing. I can actually say that now. So we will be back here on Tuesday. Let me get the music because it doesn't make sense if I don't do it. So until then, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.